Hello, this is a quick guide to show you how to get the Moonblade, which is the best silver sword in the first Witcher game. Now, why would you want to do that, you might ask? Well, firstly, it makes the end of The Witcher a lot easier. Second, you might be aware that you can import save files if you play the sequel game, Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings. When you import a save file in that game, your weapons are also imported, meaning that your start in The Witcher 2 will also be smoother. Thirdly, and maybe most importantly, it's fun and the weapon looks cool. The earliest point at which you can get the Moonblade is Chapter 5. You get the Moonblade from completing so-called trophy quests in the 5 main chapters of the game. Basically, this means that you have to collect 2 monster heads per chapter. Something not entirely obvious to remember here is that Geralt can only carry 1 monster head at a time, so don't try to complete both of the chapter's quests at the same time. You can do the quests in whichever order you wish. In Chapter 1, you need to go see the Royal Huntsman. He hangs out by his campfire both day and night. You obtain the trophy quests when you actually loot the heads you need, so you don't need to visit the Royal Huntsman to pick the quests up. You get 200 orens and 1000 XP per monster. The first monster is called Nadir. It's a strong drowner that hangs out by the old mill at night time. He's usually by the grass area and not by the immediate lakeside like the other drowners. Be cautious, as you can easily pull a big group of regular drowners when fighting him. Also, check your quest log and make sure you don't have the quest Strangers in the Night. It's a quest you get in the main quest chain that has to do with killing drowners, and if you have it, it might interfere with your ability to loot Nadir's head. When you're done, turn in the head to the Royal Huntsman. The second monster is called Osrel and is a ghoul located in the crypt. You need to have completed the first quest you get from Mikkel the Guard, where he asks you to clear the Crypt of Ghouls. When you turn that quest in and return to the crypt, a new path has been opened for you. Drink a cat potion or use a torch to be able to see properly inside the crypt. He's pretty strong, so be careful of his knockbacks as he can literally eat your health. When done, return his head to the Royal Huntsman. In Chapter 2, Vincent Mice handles the monster contracts. You'll find him outside of the dungeon near the Trade Quarter Gate. He's available here during the day, but not during the night. You get 400 orens and 3000 XP per monster. In the start of Chapter 2, you actually already have the first monster contract done. The contract regards the greater cockatrice that you fought in the sewers. Be sure to loot its head and turn it in to Vincent. The second monster contract is for something called a coccidium in the swamp area. It can spawn in a few different locations. I found it outside the brickmaker's camp, but you're bound to run into it since you have a lot of quests involving the swamp in Chapter 2. It hits really hard, and in the swamp you always risk getting additional drowners or bloodzoigers on your hands, so be careful with your health. In Chapter 3, the Royal Huntsman is back again. He has his table set up near the small gate in the trade quarter that leads to the cemetery. You get 600 orens and 5000 XP per monster. The first monster is Vorif, a large wolf who patrols around the Golem burial ground in the swamp. He can also be found near the collapsed tower. He will only appear from dusk to dawn, and he will not appear when you are doing the quest to save the brickmakers. The second monster is Moa, a wyvern who is fittingly located at Wyvern Island in the swamp. A good idea is to do the regular monster contract called the Wyvern contract at the same time, since you need to clear some royal wyverns before you face Moa anyhow. In Chapter 4, Tobias Hoffman handles the monster trophies. He is found in his home in the village of Murky Waters. In this chapter you get 800 orens and 7000 XP per monster. The first contract regards Teyu, who patrols the fields with his 2 Vodianoi sidekicks. I personally found him being close to the small lake in the eastern part of the fields. The other contract is Eurus, an ancient scimitar. He is located in the crypt in the fields. Inside the crypt, he's in the south of the cave. You need to use your Ard sign to remove the wall blocking the way before you can fight him. In Chapter 5, the Royal Huntsman is in the Druid's Cave. Luckily, the trophy quests are close by. These are the last monsters that you need, and you get 1000 Orans and 10,000 XP per head. Vesper, a Garcane, is found at the foot of the cemetery hill. He usually has a few fellow Garcane or Garcanians, or however it's said in plural, with him. He can catch you by surprise, so be ready when you're close by. Turn in his head and return for the next monster, a Bruxa named Lily. She can only be found during night time, along with a lot of other Bruxae at the cemetery and by the Circle of Mute Thunder. Once you return to the Royal Huntsman, he gives you the option to choose your reward, a steel or a silver sword. You should pick Moonblade, the silver sword, since the other sword, called Gvalchir, is obtainable more easily through other methods. I will show how in a different video. Congratulations on your new sword, and thank you for watching this guide. If you have any questions, ask in the comments or consult the excellent Witcher Wikipedia.